And we are back with another Resolute TV special. This one is Vit Jedlicka, the president of the biggest micronation. Also, he doesn't like it to be called micronation, Liberland. Check it out, guys.
All right, so everybody, we'd like to welcome, we're pretty excited, our Resolute TV episode for this week. We've managed to score ourselves a president of a fairly unique country. I'm a bit of a fan of his work so far. That's sort of what motivated me to make contact, and he's been kind enough to give us some time, which is a bit of a coup for Resolute TV at this early stage. So we have Mr. Vit, or President Vit Jedlicka. Is that correctly pronounced?
Yeah, Jedlicka, if you're trying to pronounce my surname.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on. It's a bit exciting to do. I noticed you said you're at your father-in-law's farm. So tell us about Liberland. Where's it up to? I know you had your 5-year anniversary. I've done a little bit of homework on it. I think it's a great idea and a great concept. How's it all going?
Yeah, well, I think we're doing quite fine. We've got now 600,000 people on board. I think also some 2,000
Oh,
people
it's a bit stuttery
from
there.
Australia. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, it's gone cut out.
By the way, and it's
No, the internet's going very slowly. Oh goodness. Hang on.
yeah. Sorry, let's try again.
That's all right.
Too far
No
from
problem.
the Wi-Fi, and it's switching between the Wi-Fi and the 4G network, which doesn't work that well. I might need to go inside actually. Or maybe here. Maybe here. Yeah, this is a good place.
Good place. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, frozen still.
Okay, let's do it again. Okay.
Let's do it again. Oh. You there, Mr. President?
Yes, I'm here. I'm ready.
Beautiful. All right. Look, thank you for coming on. So, how's Liberland coming along? What's been happening? How many citizens do we have now? Do we have any Australian citizens? How's everything happening?
We've got 600,000 people now on board. I think including 2,000 from Australia. So it's pretty large. And it's a great honor to be able to lead this nation forward. And we just celebrated 5 years. It was a big event. Unfortunately, we couldn't meet in person because everybody is locked down around the world. But otherwise, we would actually meet in Liberland for the anniversary. I hope we'll be able to meet there in a month or so from now. And yeah, it was very successful. We had people like Ron Paul, Walter Block, David Friedman with us. Roger Ware also joined us. So it was a nice gathering of like-minded people that share the same vision. And we also showed what we are planning to do in the coming year. We had our Minister of Interior, Samuel, with us. He was showing us where the Minister of Interior is going. We had Thomas Walls, our Foreign Minister, also showing where is he pushing with the recognition of Liberland, and many other great people, including people from the Liberland Aid Foundation and an independent charity established to foster the recognition of Liberland around the world.
I for one hope you achieve that. I think it's a fantastic precedent you're trying to set. What was your inspiration? Obviously, I know the story, but for our audience that's slowly building, what was your inspiration to step up and say, let's create our own country?
Well, I think I was inspired every day by daily politics in Czech Republic and in EU. Like when you see what kind of people are becoming presidents, you are thinking, well, I could probably do better. So that was maybe one of the inspirations. But also at some point I realized that the problem are not the politicians, problems are the voters. So it's much better to change the narrative instead of fighting in the political game, which is lost ahead of the race. We have to create our own game on this And basically, yes, I think it's exactly what is needed actually to foster the freedom around the world, create more competition. I'm quite happy that I will be taking part of this Startup Society event on 4th of May, which will be held with a lot of like-minded people, and they're on the same business, starting up new societies, new countries, new special economic zones, and I think this is exactly what is needed to get somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea, and I think the way the world's going, more and more of these ideas are going to spring up and flourish. And as the citizenry gets more interested in different ways of doing things, people like yourself and hopefully channels like mine and other things like that will grow out of that discontent. So, from what I understand of Liberland, nobody's based there yet permanently. Is that sort of correct?
Well, it's not entirely true. There are 400 Liberlanders living in the very close vicinity of Liberland, and there is this ongoing effort with a fleet of ships now. I can call it that way. After we have upgraded, we've got now the ship called Bitcoin Freedom, 3 stories high, 40 meters long. So that's kind of our flagship that is going to be parked there as a hotel and like initial settlement kind of unit for people to stay and have events. We also have Liberty. That's another boat that can host up to 70 people. So we are getting stronger and stronger in terms of the presence on the river. And it's not that easy, right? Like Danube is pretty fast. It's an international waterway. So there are a lot of challenges connected to it. But I think the strong presence on the river is kind of part of the story of Liberland. And we have to be able to show our strong commitment to settlement of Liberland before we can solve all the troubles with Croatia, which, by the way, still doesn't claim Liberland. It's still not part of the territory of Croatia. We are not separatists by any means. We have got the title directly from Serbia, which stated they don't mind creation of Liberland on this territory.
Okay. Oh well, that's obviously a big thing. So for people who don't understand the concept of a micronation, anybody who's not sure, Liberland's a little. It's about 7 square kilometers. Am I correct? In between
We're actually
Serbia
not micronation,
and
right? If you compare the number of our nationals to other countries, we're bigger than Iceland or bigger than Malta. So from that perspective, we are not micronation. We might be a microstate, but we don't fall into the category of micronations.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. I didn't realize the difference there, but that's interesting to know. We're all learning as we go. It's such an exciting idea for me. I think it's brilliant. So with this state, so you're accepting citizenship applications from all around the world. How does that work for our viewers?
Well, we've got now e-residency program as the first step for people to become engaged with Liberland, and we basically make the background check on them. We figure out if we want these people as citizens. Also, that's the privilege that we've got, and we figure out how they can best help Liberland to move forward. Sometimes it's their diplomatic contacts, sometimes it's their experience, sometimes it's their IT skills. Sometimes it is simply a donation to the development of Liberland, and that way people become citizens. That's the easy path.
Yeah. Okay. Look, fantastic. I'd love to go and visit Liberland. I think the whole idea is fantastic. I'm really excited by the whole concept. So, in the other ways of running your own country, President, how does the financial system work, or is it a plan to work? What's the plan there? And again, I've looked it up on the website, but our viewers may not realise it's a bit unique as well.
We're building a blockchain governance, completely transparent way how to run the country, and not just that some registries will be on the blockchain. We are trying to be the first sovereign country to implement full blockchain governance. I think there is a merit to it. Our tokens or our contribution tokens are called the merits. So whoever contributes to Liberland gets merits, and with these merits, they are able to participate in the decision making of Liberland.
Okay, so it is a very libertarian idea the way you've got this set up. It's using blockchain technology. It's using contribution, voluntary contribution as opposed to forced contribution, and active participation obviously is encouraged.
Yes, exactly. And so we're going a little bit further from regular kind of tax havens where the taxes are sometimes very low, but never zero. Really, because you always have some fees. We've got a completely voluntary tax system, but not just that. Whenever you contribute to the country, you become the shareholder of the country itself, which I think is a important change of the paradigm.
That's a completely different idea. I'm sure most people would never have heard of anything like it. A voluntary tax system and becoming a shareholder of the nation that you live in, as opposed to the way it currently sort of seems that we're servants of the country we live in, or servants to the politicians we live in. That's certainly how it feels in
Unfortunately,
Australia.
and it's crazy. You know, you go and pay $20 million in taxes, and nobody says thank you. They just collect the money, and if you give them 19 million, you're going to jail, right? So it's a strange society setup we're living in.
It is, and it's been there for so long. It's ingrained into all of us that's how it's supposed to be. So it's fantastic to meet other free thinkers going, no, there's got to be a better way to create a society around this. Now, one of the questions that I was asked when I spoke to a few people about what you're trying to achieve is how would the education system work for your citizens? I'm for privatizing and voluntary type systems. How is the education system going to be structured in Liberland? How are you going to tackle it?
Our constitution forbids us from organizing education whatsoever, but I'm happy to be personally engaged in the setup of Liberland University, which will be mostly online universities with summer exams in Liberland. And that is taking off as we speak, literally. I'm going to call the guy right after we finish the call because we've got some unfinished paperwork to do. But I'm really happy that the project has taken off with a bunch of professors, both from Czech Republic and the United States. And so that way we will also have full accreditation for MBA programs for both EU and United States.
Yeah, right. That's pretty exciting as well. So, hey, are you getting much traction with other countries, other established nations, supporting you? As I presume the Australian Prime Minister hasn't sent you a congratulations and given you any sort of support in that way?
No, but of course we let the Australian government know at the very beginning of Liberland, and I think we already sent them congratulation letter for the election, I guess, but because we're doing it now on the regular basis with our governments. Yes, we have got a couple regular countries, UN member states, that recognize us by now. It is quite exciting, but we don't want to reveal those diplomatic relations until they are strengthened and we are able actually to build up on them. So, you know, like our mission, I would say, in the terms of diplomatic progress, is one of the most successful if you consider the age of our country, and we're doing quite well. And I'm really happy that we've got some heavyweights in diplomatic world like Tariq Abbasi, who has been able to really push recognition of Liberland forward through his channels, because he's also representative of British Queen.
Yeah, yes. What a great coup to have somebody like that working with you and supporting your concept. So your background before you got into politics and running your own country, what was your profession, life experience? Who are you, Mr. President, before you were Mr. President? I
set up one of the biggest decentralized internet networks, I think, actually in the world. Right now we have grown to some 400,000 users in Czech Republic. So I have a little bit of experience in organizing large organizations, and right after I studied the economy, and I also studied the political science as a side kind of my part-time interest. So I finished that, and right after I was working as a financial analyst for one of the biggest brokerage companies in Czech Republic, and right after I started Liberland. So I went from financial world into from political world a little bit. We also started our political libertarian party in the process, but basically straight from the college, after a couple years of work experience in the financial markets, I went on and started Liberland.
That's fantastic. So you've had some world experience. We've seen some people who have tried things like this and they've just tried to do it out of their backyard, whereas you've actually gone ahead and found a great piece of land, a property that is certainly a viable piece of land to claim. I mean, I know other people have tried to claim things like the moon, Antarctica, other areas like that, which is, it's sort of interesting and fun to see them do that, but you've actually found somewhere that's really, really viable. and practical for what you're trying to do, and it makes it more achievable, a more real country, I suppose, in geographical terms.
Let me
How did you come
let me
across
give
it?
you some perspective. Maybe we're the same size as Gibraltar. We're 10 times bigger than Vatican, 3 times bigger than Monaco. So it's the right size of the country to start with.
So beautiful size, beautiful size. How did you find this piece of land? How did you come across it? You just sort of went hunting for land, or you spotted the land and then decided, I'm going to claim that and make that my country?
Well, that was very easy. Google it, go for no man's land, and you will find the last missing pieces. And there is a nice article on Wikipedia with all the available territories out there.
Yeah, right. So if somebody, one of our viewers, wanted to join Liberland or contribute to Liberland, how would you recommend they do it? And
it's probably the easiest process is to go online and sign up for e-residency or citizenship, or just contact me directly. It's president@liberland.org. I would be really keen if we got a proper representative office in Australia going.
Okay, well, I'll put my hand up to give you a hand with that. No problem at all.
Awesome.
I've been involved in the Australian Libertarian Party for the last 5 or 6 years, funnily enough, and I've been sort of dabbling and learning. So that was part of the reason I reached out. I thought, fantastic, this is a man who's already achieving things. So I'd like to talk to you and get to know you a little bit more and see how it all works. So as far as other things go within the economy, how are you going to work it? What things are going to? Are you looking for specific people at the moment? Is there a specific skill set you're lacking, and is there, or not yourself, but as in Liberland, is there an area that you're looking to strengthen?
We're literally, we need the people in all segments of the society to build a Liberland. But right now we're finishing our constitution. I would really appreciate a couple more constitutional lawyers to be on our advisory board, because it's a process which requires some serious intellectual strength and experience in these things. And I don't want to redo it later. I would like to really, now after 5 years, take the 5 constitutional drafts that we have, combine them in one nice document.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that sounds pretty exciting. Look, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all unfolds. And now that obviously we've made contact, hopefully we'll stay in touch a little bit. Now, is there any message you'd like to send? I understand Liberland has its own beer. What other products of interest? What fun things are happening, as opposed to all the politics side of it? What's fun going on?
Well, Air Liberland is another fun organization, which is great to be part of. We're also considering getting an airport in Serbia for the sake of having an international airport later on for Liberland. And right now I'm actually really kind of enjoying the humanitarian part of Liberland. As we speak, we've got 600,000 respirators shipped into the United States. There is 600 masks shipped to Croatia. And I'm planning to go with initial 3,000 respirator shipment to the Serbian hospital. So we need to be able to show some economic strength and ability to help in the times of crisis. And it's true that in many Serbian hospitals, still the doctors in the front line don't have the protective gears. So I'm going to take Air Liberland to deliver the products of Liberland Aid Foundation from Czech Republic to Serbia. And I hope I will be able to visit Liberland on the way.
That's excellent. Look, I'm really excited for you. We're almost at time for the availability on the program. But is there anything, any message you'd like to send to our viewers on behalf of Liberland? Anything you'd like to sort of put out there that we haven't covered yet?
I would like to remind you of our motto. It's live and let live. Live and let live.
I think that's a fantastic motto. Okay, so President Vit Jedlicka. Is that am I getting better?
It's a tough one. Jedlicka. Don't try.
It is with an Australian accent for sure. Look, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Don't be surprised if I don't harass you a little bit more on occasion.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on. Resolute TV fans will be ecstatic, and we'll talk again soon, hopefully.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.